Hello everyone, a warm welcome to another thought-provoking video. Today we will dive into the realm of self-improvement. We'll be exploring the concept of Stoicism, a philosophy that has been a guiding light for many over the centuries. Stoicism teaches us how to remain tranquil and focused in the face of life's storms, leading us towards a path of self-contentment and fulfillment. Now, while the virtues of Stoicism are numerous, there exist certain habits that stand in stark opposition to this philosophy. These habits, which we'll call anti-Stoic, not only hinder our progress towards self-improvement but also prevent us from achieving the tranquility and focus that Stoicism promises. In this video, we will delve into 9 such anti-Stoic habits that you may want to consider deleting from your life. So, are you ready to embark on this journey of self-improvement? Let's get started. To start off, let's discuss the first 3 anti-Stoic habits that you need to eliminate from your life. The first habit is worry. Worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. Constantly worrying about the future, which is largely out of our hands, contradicts this principle. It drains your energy, robs you of your present joy, and doesn't change the outcome. Instead, channel your energy towards actions that you can control and let go of the rest. Next on the list is the habit of seeking external validation. Stoicism teaches us to find peace and contentment within ourselves. If you're constantly seeking approval from others, you're giving them the power to validate your worth. This habit can lead to a never-ending cycle of trying to please others, leaving you feeling unfulfilled and insecure. Remember, your worth is not determined by external opinions but by your own self-acceptance and virtues. Thirdly, we have the habit of holding grudges. Stoicism advocates for forgiveness and understanding. Holding on to anger and resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It doesn't hurt the person who wronged you, it only hurts you. It's a heavy burden that weighs you down, steals your peace, and hinders your personal growth. Instead, practice forgiveness. It's not about letting the other person off the hook, but about setting yourself free. These 3 habits, worry, seeking external validation, and holding grudges, are counterproductive to the principles of Stoicism. They rob you of your peace, joy, and personal growth. By eliminating these habits, you're taking a step closer to living a more stoic and fulfilling life. If you're finding this content valuable, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and like this video. Moving on, let's delve into the next 3 habits that go against the principles of Stoicism. First up, we have the habit of complaining. Complaining is an externalization of our dissatisfaction, a way of laying blame on the world instead of taking responsibility for our feelings. The Stoic approach is to accept what we cannot change and transform what we can. Therefore, each time we catch ourselves complaining, let's take a step back, identify what's bothering us, and see how we can address it constructively. Next, let's talk about procrastination. Procrastination is often a result of fear or avoidance, a tendency to put off what we find difficult or uncomfortable. But Stoicism teaches us to face challenges head-on. It tells us to act, not tomorrow, not later, but now. The present moment is all we truly have, and we must make the most of it. So the next time we find ourselves delaying a task, let's remember to seize the day and take that first step towards completing it. Finally, we come to the habit of seeking validation. In today's social media-driven world, it's easy to fall into the trap of constantly seeking approval from others. But Stoicism encourages us to be self-reliant, to value our own judgment above all. It reminds us that our worth is not determined by likes, shares, or comments, but by our actions and character. So, let's practice self-validation, let's trust our own instincts, and let's live by our own standards, not someone else's. These 3 habits, complaining, procrastination, and seeking validation, are all counterproductive to the Stoic philosophy. They hinder our growth, cloud our judgment, and distract us from our true purpose. But by recognizing these habits, we can start to address them. We can replace complaining with acceptance, procrastination with action, and the need for validation with self-reliance. Understanding these habits is the first step towards change. Let's continue our journey. Finally, we come to the last 3 habits that contradict Stoicism. These habits are often deeply ingrained, but recognizing them is the first step toward living a more stoic life. The 7th habit to be aware of is the habit of comparison. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing our lives to those around us, especially in this era of social media. But Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own actions and values, rather than measuring ourselves against others. The act of comparison often leads to dissatisfaction and discontent, emotions that are not aligned with the Stoic philosophy of finding peace within oneself. Next, we have the 8th habit, the desire for recognition. This habit is about seeking validation from others and craving the spotlight. It's about wanting to be seen, recognized, and admired. However, Stoicism encourages us to find validation within ourselves, to act because it is the right thing to do, not because it brings us fame or recognition. By letting go of this desire, we can focus on living according to our values rather than being driven by the opinions of others. Lastly, the 9th habit that contradicts Stoicism is the habit of worry. Worrying about the future or dwelling on the past can consume our minds and prevent us from living in the present moment. Stoicism, on the other hand, teaches us to focus on what we can control and to accept what we cannot. By letting go of worry, we can live more fully in the present, appreciating what we have and responding to life's challenges with calm and resilience. These final 3 habits, comparison, the desire for recognition, and worry, are all common human tendencies. But by recognizing them for what they are, we can begin to shift our mindset. We can start to let go of these habits and embrace the teachings of Stoicism. By recognizing these habits, we are setting the stage for a more Stoic life. Now that we have covered all the 9 anti-Stoic habits, let's do a quick recap. We started with the first habit of placing importance on external validation. Remember, the essence of Stoicism lies in understanding that your worth doesn't stem from others' opinions. Instead, it stems from your virtues and actions. The second habit we discussed was being reactive to situations rather than proactive. Stoicism teaches us to take a step back, assess the situation, and then react in a manner that aligns with our values and beliefs. Thirdly, we highlighted the tendency to dwell on the past or worry about the future. In the realm of Stoicism, we learn to focus on the present moment and make the most out of it. Moving on, the 4th habit was about being driven by immediate gratification. Stoicism encourages us to practice patience and delay gratification for a more fulfilling and meaningful life. The 5th habit we addressed was the tendency to avoid discomfort. Stoics understand that growth often comes from discomfort. They embrace it and use it as a tool for self-improvement. The 6th habit involved being slave to our emotions. Stoics maintain equanimity in the face of both positive and negative emotions, never allowing them to dictate their actions. The 7th habit brought up the issue of being overly concerned with material possessions. Stoics find value in experiences and virtues, not in material wealth. The 8th habit was about living a life without clear goals and purpose. Stoicism encourages us to have a clear sense of purpose that guides our actions and decisions. Finally, the 9th habit was resisting change. Stoics understand the impermanence of life and embrace change as a natural part of existence. Remember, the journey towards Stoicism is a constant process of learning and unlearning. It's all about making small, consistent changes to your habits, slowly replacing the anti-Stoic ones with Stoic ones. Each step you take brings you closer to a more peaceful, resilient, and contented life. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you haven't already, do subscribe to our channel for more enlightening content.